All right, here we go. Field to the Deal Season 2.
Let's do it.
Week 1 NFL. Ladies and gentlemen, Broncos Country, it's time for the facts, not the fluff. I'm here to tell you what's really happening with the Denver Broncos as we march into 2025. CJ Anderson, Super Bowl champ, head coach. How you doing, sir?
I'm good, man. Good to be back with the boys. Rob, Pete, Mrs. Scotty, but it's good to be back with the boys.
Super agent Peter Schaffer.
Greatest day of the year.
Amen.
The Friday of the start of the football. Are you kidding me? Rob, our long national nightmare is over. No more baseball. I mean, I love the WNBA, CJ, but I can't watch it every night.
I will say this. We have season tickets to the Valkyries. They made the playoffs. Kaylani loves it. My daughter loves it. So, we pull up. We watch some games and support. So my daughter just, she gets to see some new stuff.
Hey, CJ, we got someone to balance you out today, by the way. We got the offensive mind there, CJ Anderson, but with us is former Buckeye Steel Chambers.
What's up? How you guys doing?
Welcome to the show, Mr. Chambers.
Yep, glad to be here.
I'm going to tell you something. This is going to be an interesting show with offense versus defense.
Oh, boy.
For every X you got, CJ, Steele's got 2 O's.
I will hope so.
I hope so.
Hey, Rob, because we have Steele and we have CJ, before we get to this week, I do think we need to reflect a little on Ohio State, Texas, because I believe that it's the only time ever that we've had the preview of the national championship game in the first week. And CJ, I want to hear your offensive thoughts on why the team struggled, and Steele, your thoughts on why both teams' defenses really dominated.
Well, Ohio State is rotating players every year. New quarterback, right? Texas elite players. I don't know if they're elite schematically on defense. They do some things different than with Matt Patricia. Obviously, I played Matt Patricia for a long time, right? Really good D coordinator, right? Got your Bill Belichick background. I think some things though that, like, if you give Texas 2 or 3 games of Matty P, right? Because that's one thing that's different with the league and the NFL. Hashes are a little wider, so Matty P can get away with some things like the great third down cover 2 with the cat, right? Bringing the blitz off.
What do you mean? Boundary. Wait, hold up. You just can't throw off.
I know. Play. There's a play, so I'll break it down in your terms. Go back. There's a play. There's a play. So there's hashes in football.
I need some more coffee.
The hashes in college are like this. The hashes are in the NFL like this. The hashes in college like this. The ball's on this hash, and he's bringing the corner blitz along with the backer off the boundary, playing cover 2 behind it with the nickel playing deep half to the field. You can't do that in the field because the hashes is like this and there's so much room on the outside. But in college, you can. Like, if you would have gave Sarkisian like 3 or 4 games, right, he'll probably have some indicators of some things that can help him. But, everybody was talking about Arch. Arch was just bad mechanically. Like, mechanically, the way his feet was and his footwork. That's why the balls were off. Was he confused on some of the things that was coming? Absolutely, right? Some of that stuff was elite NFL stuff. But, I think Matty P gets a chance to play with those things, right? And I think that's why Texas struggled on offense. And then, obviously, I think Ohio State just struggled on offense, not getting the ball. Like, yeah, Jeremiah Smith dropped some balls. Yeah, a lot of drop balls, which uncharacteristic. But this year, I see this game 1, just like you saw CD last night, very uncharacteristic of balls drop. But young quarterback play, that's what you see, and that's what you're starting to see, right? And you'll see that throughout the league just this upcoming Sunday. Young quarterback play, if you're not prepared and not ready to go, your offense is going to struggle.
Steele, what did you see defensively?
I think, it's a lot of that, and then especially just it's the beginning of the season. I mean, defenses are always going to have an edge for like that first month, and then you're going to see offenses start to ramp it up whenever the season really gets started. But, I mean, I think it was kind of 2 stories. I think Texas, they're kind of put into a situation where Arch did kind of have to be the hero, kind of playing from behind. And then Ohio State, they came up with the plan of Julian saying, don't turn the ball over, just keep the game within yourself, throw the ball outside of the hashes. And once they got that lead, they will just keep that mindset throughout the entire game. I mean, he didn't have too many flashy plays, but he just got 2 first downs every single drive. He didn't turn the ball over. I mean, offensive line protecting him. So I feel like it was more just Ohio State was able to keep to their game plan. Texas might have had to change it up a little bit throughout the game.
Steele, Ohio State had some elite defensive players, right?
Yes,
Oh, they can play now.
absolutely.
There's a lot of Sunday dudes on that football field.
Oh yeah,
So.
That safety, he's a dude, right?
He can play.
yes,
Caleb Downs can play.
And
yeah,
then one thing that Ohio State's always done, especially even when you played, and when I watched all your tape, they rotate like the Eagles' defensive line. It's like there are waves of them coming at you, right?
I was surprised by that, but just like the sheer volume of how much they lost that last year.
Right.
But yeah, I mean they were rotating interior guys, edge guys. They had a solid 7-8 guys that were just rotating the entire game.
Coach Johnson's still there, right?
Yep, he's still there.
Elite. I mean, it's really, really good.
Oh yeah,
really damn good.
So what was
he gonna have his room ready for sure.
What's it like? You recently graduate Ohio State, practicing for a game like that. You got Coach Day, offensive, really great mind. You got this great defense. I mean, was it harder on Wednesday? Tuesday, Wednesday practice, and Saturday?
Yeah, I would say, especially Bloody Tuesdays. I feel like that first 8 periods or so, that felt like a legit game. I mean, you're going inside period, you're basically scrimmaging for another 4 or 5 periods. But I mean, yeah, his whole philosophy is just make the practice harder than the game, and I feel like he does that perfectly. And I'm assuming that's what he did that week before Texas.
CJ is the high school coach. You just wrote that down. I got that.
Yeah, our work day is always Tuesday, Wednesday, man. That's our work day.
Absolutely.
Our work day is always Tuesday, Wednesday. I trust me. I don't need. Hey, it's good to know that I'm doing the right things. I'll just say it like that. We didn't have Bloody Tuesdays, but Tefford was Intensity Tuesday with Jeff Tefford when I was at Cal. So, And then obviously Foxy didn't believe in, and this is before the NFL rules changed with the new CBA. But when I was in that old CBA, right, Foxy didn't believe in helmets and shoulder pads. We was full pads on Wednesdays and Thursdays. That was Foxy thing. So at my first 2 years in the league, John Fox was like, "You ain't getting no pads off. We practicing. It's week 15. We practicing." I remember my first Super Bowl trip when we lost Super Bowl 48. We practiced in full pads that week.
Hey Rob, I feel like Adam Schefter here. I'm going to break a little. I just got a text. Damari Mathis, the Panthers corner, who they just got from the Broncos, torn ACL out for the year.
Oh no!
Oh jeez.
On a Friday, fast Friday?
Yeah.
Oh,
man, I got my phone. I feel like I'm just like,
wow.
That was my Adam
Schefter. Friday, fast Friday, in and out, red zone. You barely do any running other than 2 minute red zone. You in and out on Friday.
It had to happen yesterday.
Oh, okay, that's gonna say.
It had to happen
out on Friday. Dang.
No, it had to happen yesterday.
Hey, Steele, question for you explaining at Ohio State. I'm from Ohio, so I'm a recovered. I like Buckeye fans to some level, but Buckeyes.
But Steele, because he says that, just speak slower so we can understand you, okay?
Will do.
Thank you. Especially in college, when you have a big game week 1, would you prefer having that big game week 1, or do you want to play Kent State week 1 and then play Texas?
I'd rather start off hot and go play Texas week 1. I feel like, especially in the offseason, I mean, you're always having something to work for, but especially like for me, our biggest game week 1 was Notre Dame in 2022.
Okay.
And it just felt like that offseason ramping up to that was just kind of like turned up just a little bit, because I feel like we got a big game coming up week 1. We have to be ready. And it's not like we're going to play Kent State or Georgia State, where we feel like if we're off a little bit, we can still skate by. We know we have to be on our P's and Q's immediately, just right out of the gate.
Do you think that's changed with teams in their schedule now that they can, like, there's 12 teams that make the playoffs, that teams are willing to schedule those tougher teams to start the year where it's not going to ruin their ranking, where they can't catch up?
I personally think that they needed to change the way that they rank the playoffs and put more weight on the wins that you have and not as much as the full record. Because, I mean, you can have some team over in the Pac-12 go 11-1, not play anyone, and then get in the playoffs. And I don't personally believe in that. I think the best 12 teams need to get in. And even if they're 9-3, they played in a crazy schedule, but they had solid wins, you should get in.
No,
let me ask you two guys this. And should college football do 2 things? One, allow for spring games to be games against opponents, charge admission, so we can get more revenue for NIL. And then 2, allow college teams to either play a preseason scrimmage, a joint practice against another school, or an actual live game. Again, more revenue, whatever. And call it an exhibition game and don't count it against your schedule.
I think the spring idea is a great idea. You can run it like a joint practice. I mean, that's what the NFL is doing now, just dropping it down from 4 preseason games to 3. So you get those 15 practices in the spring, and there's nothing wrong with, someone's coming into town. Now you got to figure out classes and all that stuff. Teachers be hating. But someone's coming into town, and, you get 5 or 7 days of good work. But then, I also look at like high school. I'm coaching high school now. I was at Rice before then. But you coach like high school or even junior college ball. They do get a scrimmage a week before you kick off season. So nothing will be wrong with, because you're paying, like Ohio State's playing Grambling, right, this weekend, right? You're paying Grambling to come, play me. San Jose State's playing Texas. Like, why not have them just scrimmage each other? You can work on everything you need to work on. Those kids get better. You get, you make sure you're crisp and sound before you got to go jump in.
CJ, how would we bet on that? I'm just curious. How would we bet on the scrimmage? Would it be the same? Would it be
the revenue is already? We don't need Joe betting money. The money's already there, right? The Big Ten, SEC, those.
Yeah, but CJ, you're
making money forever.
Yeah, but the betting is going to create the eyeballs.
Yeah, but the more you add the business side to it, the less you're taking away from what you're talking about. You didn't say all that. You asked 2 questions.
You talking prop bets here? You talking like prop bets?
So the more you add on to that, you can't tell your parlays. You can't pay those things when you talk about exposition games, right? Are they betting in preseason? I don't know. I don't bet. Are they parlaying stuff in preseason?
Absolutely not.
Right.
Jeremiah Smith, he'll go out there for a drive, and then they take him out, and you won't see him on the field again.
Yeah.
I'm not betting on him. I'm not betting on anybody. I don't know who's playing those games.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but I think the spring idea is a good thing. It's just hard in college when you mix in with school and all the other stuff, the schedule, how they play. It's just tough on that end. But I do like the spring idea.
Again, CJ, you're focused on the welfare of the athlete. I'm talking about the business.
I'm an athlete, bro.
We're talking about the retirement plan. We're talking about the retirement
you, Peter, and Rob, who gets in this, not the athletic experience as much, and y'all want to, grind us down, trying to take care of the homies.
Hey, I was runner-up church league all team, so at my basketball league. So, I know, right? Hey, so I could jump over a Sunday newspaper folded. So, but
hey, Rob, CJ wasn't on last week when I went in, when you told everybody that I went into the Colorado Lacrosse Hall of Fame. Come on now.
There you go. I see you, Pete.
There you go.
You're still a better hockey player than me, though. I've seen you play both. You're still a better hockey player than me.
Going into week 1 here with the Broncos, speaking to them specifically, Bo Nix, year 2. CJ, do you believe in the sophomore slump?
Yeah. When one thing about the league, everybody all offseason, all these coaches, right? All they do is watch ball. They get a chance to figure you out, right? I think as good as Jaden Daniels was last year, I think it slows down for him. CJ Stroud was really good his rookie year. It slows down for him. I think it slows down. I think they figure you out, right? Same with Lamar Jackson, figure you out. Now I think where you become really good is finding ways to prepare yourself to be better so you can sit on those things, right? Now, good thing is different than the other 2 quarterbacks I just named, right? Because obviously Lamar changed coordinators with Greg Roman to Todd, right? Obviously Cliff Kingsbury's still over there with Jaden Daniels. Sean Payton is really, really good at what he do, right? Like that's one dude I do believe in, offensive minded wise. Sean Payton's really good at what he do. So he'll still try to put Bo in positions and things like that. But kind of like what Steele was saying with Ohio State, right? You still don't need Bo Nix to go win the game. The defense is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Right? The run game should be a lot better. Like you still don't need Bo. You just need to make a couple throws. You don't need him to go be hero and win the game. So it might be a slump. Probably not too crazy though, especially if the defense is playing. Like the defense could keep them in games. That's what you hope, right? That's what you hope. The defense should keep them in games.
Theo, what about you?
Steele?
What about you? Do you think Bo Nix, second year? What are your thoughts on him?
I want to hear Steele.
I feel like he might not have a star-studded year like last year, but I think he's gonna learn and just grow into. I can also play the role of just playing complementary football with my defense. I mean, he doesn't have to go out there just be the star of the show every single Sunday. He can go out, throw for 195 yards, just have a good quality game, not turn the ball over, let the defense work, and at the end of the day, they're winning. So I think it's a little bit of that, and then sometimes he does have to put the team on his back. I mean, he's the quarterback of an NFL franchise. You got to have that ability in you. So it's just a combination of the two, knowing when to pick and choose between kind of what character you're playing on Sunday. And, yeah.
Now, Peter always reminds us that the big variable in the NFL is when you don't have film, and the Broncos are going in against Cam Ward without a ton of film, even though he's a rookie quarterback. As a defender, Steele, how worried about you when you go like, we don't have a ton of true film on this quarterback and what he does in situations?
It's hard. I mean, there were times at Ohio State, like I would go back and look at guys, their high school film just to see like how they threw, like how they handled pressure in the pocket. So it's definitely hard because it's just an unknown factor. And then just at such a big position at quarterback, it's hard to adjust to, but I mean, that's what they're getting paid for. So once you get into the game, you make in-game adjustments, you get an idea of how he plays, and then you just move forward.
CJ, if you're helping game plan for the Titans against the Broncos defense, well, and you got Cam Ward, their rookie quarterback, what are you telling him these couple weeks leading up to his initiation by fire into the NFL?
Well, you can't turn the ball over. All right. If you go look at, so it's a coordinator game, right? And this is on both sides of the ball, right? So obviously I know all coaches over there outside of Sean Payton had a part of my life. Vance Joseph, right? Brian Callahan, Bill Callahan, right? They've all had a mix with me in somehow, some way. So when you look at it from the Titans perspective, it's look at these games last year when BJ was playing these young quarterbacks and he was blitzing the shit out of them, right? Be ready for the pressure, right? That's what BJ, right, likes to do with young QBs and was successful at it last year, which made the Broncos one of the top 5 defense last year, right? Right? Along with, defensive player of the year, right? Really good Nick Bonitto. They just extend him like really good players on that side of the ball, but you can't turn the ball over. And then to help Steele out on the other end is, well, what does Brian Callahan and what does Bill like to do? Well, Brian was with Peyton and Joe Burrow, but obviously Cam Ward's not that. Not yet. We'll see. Time will tell. So you can't sit back and drop back in 2x2, 3x1 all day like the Bengals like to do. However, right, you are going to be able to run the ball. So you got to stop the run, right? Which we can also say that's probably the one thing that hurted the Broncos last year just a little bit, struggling in the run game at certain points throughout the year. So, that's kind of what you look at on both perspectives. That's kind of what I would do if I was the Titans. Like, hey, let's find where BJ wants to pressure and how he wants to pressure. And then let's pick up the pressure and then let our first pick, right? That's an easy game for him. If we can pick up the blitz and now it's less in the back end because you brought 6 or you brought 7, right? Now it becomes, why we drafted you. These are one-on-one throws you should be able to make. You just got to keep those throws away from number 2.
Peter, if you have a rookie quarterback client going up against a top, arguably at least 3 defense to start the year projected, what are you telling him to sort of, get his mind ready for week 1?
What I'm telling the quarterback?
Yeah.
Well, what my focus is on how do I slow the game down in his head, all right? And so therefore, I'm trying to probably take off as much off his plate. I'm not giving him the full playbook. I might not even give him full field reads. I might give him half field. Let everybody think we're doing half field reads. And especially if I got a CJ Anderson in the backfield, look, you're going to look, let's throw that 7 route to what's my guy's name from Georgia. And if he ain't there, check it down to CJ. Check it down to CJ. And then if I see Steel Chambers coming on a blitz or cat blitz, boom, let's just hit the tight end. They got a good tight end, turn him around at 7 yards. But that's what I'm trying to do. Steel, what are you doing if you're the D coordinator, though?
I'm bringing pressure. I'm seeing what the dude's got.
That's just what it is. Why not? And as a coordinator, I know that. So
let's go straight at it. Let's see what he got. If he can't handle it, just keep it coming.
Steele's talking to Nick, going, "Hey Nick, you just got your bag. Go get him."
Exactly. You just paid him $100+ million. Just have him go wild. Send pressures, have him on one-on-ones, let him play what he's paid for.
All right, before we go to the next subject, last night, Spitgate.
I just saw the other view with Dak. I just saw it earlier this morning.
Just be ready to appeal my fine. That's all I gotta tell you. That's all I gotta tell you. Just me and you. Just be ready to. I need you to appeal my fine for me. What you do a good job on appeals. You've had my
it's gonna be 50 racks.
Hey, you better appeal it. Spit on me, Pete. Spit on me, Pete. Spit on me, dog. I get ejected. I don't. That got great emotional control. I don't have great emotional intelligence. I don't. He spit on me, man. Just Pete, have my back in, when Roger and them tripping, just have my back on the 50 racks. Just knock it down. That's all I'm asking.
So, yeah, get it down to what? You come for 25,
Yep.
20?
Get it down to something. Just know when I get in the locker room, I'm calling you, and that's what we talking about. You going to tell me, oh, CJ, you weren't supposed to do that. You're on national television. I'm going to say, Pete, spit on me. That's all I'm going to tell you.
Well, so, all right, so here's the interesting, though. I believe on all ejection penalties that, because a lot of times they're retaliatory, especially even in college too, that they should all be reviewed by the booth before you throw someone out, because you throw someone out of the game, that's a tough call, right?
Especially like a guy like Jalen Carter, where it's like an impact. But yeah,
that changed the whole game, man.
Right, I just you're a lot more protected with him sitting on the sideline. I agree with that, though. I'm not mad at that.
Where's the downside? We have the technology. It's already there. Take an extra minute before you have such a draconian penalty against a team. And then my backup to that would be, would you guys handle the rain delay? So you warm up, play the first half. Halftime, you warm up again, boom, rain delay. Now all of a sudden, God, I was looking at the clock. It was like it might have been 11:45 Eastern when they went back on the field after a third warm up.
So we played Tampa.
Because when would you have eaten you probably haven't eaten since 4 o'clock.
So I'm gonna tell you, we played Tampa in 2017. It was my last year with the Broncos. We played Tampa in 2017. 1 o'clock game. We started off. We played all 3 quarters. Big rain delay in the 4th quarter. So what we did, went in, we got undressed, took our tape off. Snyder, right? Ryan Snyder fed us because they had food. So they fed us because we sat for about 2 hours and 30 minutes before we finished the 4th quarter.
Wow.
But then, right when it got cleared, we retaped. We just treated it like a new game. We retaped ourselves, right? Got our mind right, and then went out there and went to go finish the 4th quarter. Now, I think the difference between them and us, we were up 27-7, so we wasn't really playing for nothing in the last, 12 minutes of the 4th quarter, right? We weren't really afraid of no comeback. Now, that game was way closer than last night, but that's kind of how we handled it. But we had it that way because obviously we knew that there was a chance. VJ told us, VJ was a head coach at the time. VJ told us there was going to be a chance that we can get a delay because of the lightning. That's when you're in those spots. But the question is the players even know that a delay can potentially come? So we were prepared for it, but we also was in Florida where that type of stuff happens. I don't know if they knew that in Philly last night.
All right, so let me just sort of double down on that. Steele, what is your meal type? The difference between your meal, like when you have a breakfast or dinner, if you're playing at a 1 o'clock game or like an 8 o'clock game.
For a 1 o'clock game, I don't eat. I cannot eat. I'll throw that up. I'll throw that up immediately.
Damn.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. For 1 o'clock games, I'm not eating anything. I'm gonna have a bowl of mangoes, maybe some watermelon, and I'm calling it a day. For 8 o'clock, I gotta get something, or else I'm gonna pass out before the game starts. I'll have my fruit. I might have an Uncrustable, some goldfish, and then I'll throw in some chicken and rice whenever we have our dinner around 5 o'clock or so, and then that's it. I can't eat a lot more games, man.
CJ, what do you think for 1 o'clock game and a 6, 7
Big
o'clock
breakfast. We're gonna get up at 7. Play at 1. I'm gonna get up at 7. I might have big breakfast at 8. Potatoes, eggs, right? Pancakes or French toast. I'm gonna have big breakfast, right? Because then that's the energy. So that's crazy. Bro ain't eating. I'm gonna look at bro like
pop a
hey,
pack
bro,
of
you ain't
gushers
eating,
before you
bro.
run out of the field, man. Pop some gushers. I'm not trying to empty out my stomach right to the trash can before kickoff. They got cameras everywhere. I don't want to be.
You gotta time it. You gotta time it up. But so that's what I do for the 1 o'clock game, right? Big breakfast, because that's gonna give me the energy for sure. Like, field is full. That's for real. So that's that. And then for 8 o'clock game, kind of like he said though, but more on the, like, if we eating at 5, we playing at 8:30. More of the pasta, right? I know that's gonna all die down in 2 hours. Like, I know all that's gonna go in 2 hours. And then right before the game, that's the gushers and the Rice Krispie treats and the little Uncrustables, right? Just to pick back up. But I'm gonna have that pasta 2 hours, 2.5 hours before for sure.
Hey Rob, here's what I get to say. Back in my day,
Yeah,
like, you talk about Colorado Lacrosse Hall of Fame, playing lacrosse. We would have like a 2 o'clock game. I swear to God, we go to breakfast at Village Inn, steak and eggs for breakfast. 8 o'clock.
That's good.
Ooh, yeah, goodness gracious.
Do you want to
know? Steal steak and eggs for breakfast with power. And because I didn't drink coffee, big Mountain Dews. Other guys are drinking coffee. I mean, we're going straight caffeine and protein.
You know who the grossest athlete eaters are, though. By the way,
that's some Babe Ruth stuff right there. We've got science that says that's not right now. That
is true. It still is not lying about that.
I'm not good with it. I don't eat anything. I'm not saying I'm in the right, but that's diabolical. I don't like that.
Still, you may not be right, but you know what's wrong, right?
But still,
I know it's wrong.
Like a bagel. You don't want like a bagel or fiber just to help clear out the system.
Bowl of cereal, something.
No.
You literally wake up and you that hype and you that energetic. You ain't got no food.
We're forced to be. They wake us up. They're banging on our doors.
That's what I'm saying. I know. I'm like, bro, you at Ohio State. This ain't no like slouch program. They like, bro, you better eat. And you like, nah, I'm good.
No, I mean, we have our little salt packets. I got chugged some water with some salt in it. But besides, I can't do it. All my eating is after the game. That's when I have my steak and eggs, my 20 wings. That's where I do my eating for the day.
Wow. The grossest athlete eaters, though, if you've ever been around one before a race, are the Ironman people. If you ever watched someone eat before an Ironman race, like
they're just chowing down on like jars of peanut butter all day.
Oh, it's gross what they consume like the 48 hours before the race. Oh, it's gross. My brother did it. I was sitting there at IHOP with him. It was gross, and I think I could eat a lot. But going back to football, CJ, is it the year the Broncos dethrone Chiefs Kingdom to make a run in the AFC?
Division's tough, man. Division's tough, right? Tonight you get to see, right, what Justin Herbert and Harbaugh. Harbaugh usually don't take long to turn the shit around, right? Harbaugh was in the playoffs last year, right? The Chargers will be good, right? Pete's not gonna take Pete long. But I don't think the Chiefs lose the division. Something just as I'm watching, right? A couple of offseason things. I just think the Chiefs is on a mission. I think the Chiefs was embarrassed last year in the Super Bowl, right? Patrick Mahomes didn't even have his nowhere near a statistical year that we're used to seeing them have. I just think they're on a mission. I think Andy Reid is still trying to let everybody know I'm still here. So I think the Chiefs is on the mission. But I think the Broncos make it close, though. I mean, the division will make it close. It's going to be a good division.
Still, give me some more hope than CJ.
I can't.
Oh.
Because I dabble in gambling, and I'm not putting my money against the Chiefs. That's like putting your money on green and roulette. I can't put my mind around it.
Only one spot in roulette that's green.
I think they're going to do fantastic this year. But it's so hard to bet against the Chiefs because no matter what, every year they just know how to win games. It can be ugly. They can blow teams out. They just know how to win games. And I mean, I'm not going to bet against them.
Well, then I have two follow-up questions. I'm a lawyer. I'm allowed to follow up. One, how do you only dabble in gambling? Can you dabble? All right.
Yes.
And then do you have a system?
It helps me. I live in a state where gambling's illegal, so that helps. Whenever I was in Ohio, we had one probably like 20 minutes away, so that was kind of calling at me like late at night. So luckily, I'm just far away. And then what was the other question? I forgot.
Do you have a system?
No, I don't. I believe in vibes. I'm a big blackjack guy. We get about 4 or 5 guys around the table, all with the same mindset. We're good. I'm a
And
body.
you're gonna hit the house.
Sometimes. Not all the time.
So, hey, Peter, speaking as you're a
And I'll
lawyer.
tell you, let me tell you a funny story. Not a funny story. So I'm invited to the Michael Jordan Classic. I was representing Hakeem Nicks at the time. He was a Jordan guy.
Okay.
So they invite us to Vegas for the Michael Jordan Golf Classic. All right. And so I'm not a gambler, Steele, and we're staying at I think maybe the Aria or the Cosmopolitan or something. And so we go work out, and they said meet down like stairs for the dinner at 7:00 or whatever. So we come down at 6:30. And Jordan, we see the blackjack table still, the regular ones, where the regular slapdicks are at.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden, you see the room behind it, and that's where Gretzky is, Jordan, Mario Lemieux, and a couple other of those ilk. And they had chips colored. I ain't never seen that color before, Steele. They wasn't red, white, and blue.
I'm not going near that room.
Yeah, Rob, they were not red, white, and blue chips. I'm telling you, there were some unique colors, and there were stacks of them.
Wow. No, that'd be crazy to see. But Peter, you mentioned that you're a lawyer. So if you were representing Travis Kelce, how quickly would you recommend he change his name to Mr. Swift?
Jesus.
Well, no. And I would recommend to him that when the issue of a prenup comes up, I said, no, you tell her we're marrying for love. We don't need a prenup, CJ. We're marrying. This one's for love, right, CJ?
I just got to change her name from Swift to Kelsey, and she good.
That's right.
I don't need nothing else.
Yeah,
once she say her name is Taylor Kelsey, I'm in.
Yeah, and no prenup. We're marrying for love.
Kids, then I'm really in. Once a couple kids come out.
So, going back to football, who do you guys have as favorites? Who are your Super Bowl picks right now? If you had to pick them going in, I know we just saw the, Cowboys lose to the Eagles last night. Who do you guys see?
I want you guys to double down, but not just Super Bowl picks, but Super Bowl busts. Who's sort of rated high? That's going to be like, wow, they're going to flop. Yeah, so you got to go up and you got to go down.
Cowboys is pretty easy pick.
Well, me and my homies, we do this every year, so I'm gonna read this. I'm gonna give you my division winners, and then we go from there. I just think so. The division winners that I got the Eagles. I think the Rams win the NFC West. Right? I think the Rams win the NFC West. I mean, this is bearing everybody stays healthy, of course. Right? Bucks, Lions, and then obviously on the AFC side, Chiefs, Bills, Ravens, but I like Cincy a lot. And then Houston. So, when you look at that, obviously, the Ravens on the roster has best team in football.
How often does the best team in football win the Super Bowl?
Very, very little. Ravens on the roster. I still think the Chiefs come out the AFC. Right? Now, the NFC is interesting. I think the Lions are going to be better than what people think. All right. I just think the culture.
I don't know how they can be better than people think, because what people think they're going to go to the Super Bowl. I don't know how they can be better than people think.
Really?
I don't think they will be.
Losing Ben Johnson, losing AG is huge.
Yeah. You lost both coordinators. I don't know about
huge now.
Yeah, but there are no teams in the NFC. All the best 5 teams in the AFC.
I'm getting to that. Right. I think what you talked about your flop. I think your biggest flop. I think the Eagles flop.
Oh, good.
Eagles flop. Right. I would not be surprised if you see the Rams in the mix if they can stay healthy. That's one thing, right? Rams young defense played really well last year. Stafford still playing at a high level. Add another weapon. That kid can still play. Puka can play. The run game with Kernan and them will be solid. I like the Rams.
What about you?
I'm saying they're gonna go to the chip, but I like a nice run from the Rams.
My favorite was his flop. I think the Eagles are going to do damn good.
That's the beauty of the NFL. That's the
the one thing that scared me was the cornerback play. I felt like they were picking on who was it? They're picking on their cornerback too most of the night last night. And besides that, I feel like
you mean Dante Jackson?
Yes. I feel once they get Carter back in the mix, Kobe Dean, he's going to show up. I feel like they're just going to be just a solid overall team.
What team I think is going to come? What teams do you think are going to like Peter was saying, the non-talked about teams that could make a run?
I think Houston's
that can make a run.
Yeah.
I think Houston can make a solid run.
Not in the AFC.
I mean, that's just bias for CJ.
See, I think Washington, Jaden Daniels is going to have to play at that same level. And is there going to be a sophomore jinx? I think the Niners have lost a lot of talent.
Yeah, I think Niners lost a lot of talent. I don't have them in there.
So,
like I said,
and everybody's
talking about, like I said, I think the Rams will be solid. I think Cincy, if Cincy can get going, Cincy gonna be tough to beat.
It's always a start for them.
Yeah,
but
like if
also,
Cincy they can get going where they don't have to put into what they did last couple of years, I think they're gonna be fine. And the reason why, they do have one of the best quarterbacks in the game. Mm-hmm. And that always projects us. But that's my problem with the Eagles. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, Jalen Hurts only threw for 150 last night. And the team around him is playing well.
Yeah.
The bad part is, if they're not playing well, does he, like Burrow and some of these top 4 dudes that we named, they always got to play well, or the team won't play well.
What do you guys think about Jacksonville? What are their chances of actually making the playoffs and making a run with Trevor Lawrence?
I like Lincoln a lot. I mean, he was one of our young guys when I was out there, and when I played with the Rams, I like Lincoln a lot. I think they're still a couple pieces away. Now, the good thing is the division's not that strong. I still think Houston wins that division, though. No, I think CJ has a way better year than what he had last year. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's close. I think CJ is way better after learning, right, from his mistakes from last year, from his rookie year to last year. I think the big jump, they tell you, NFL, your big jump from year 2 to year 3. I think he makes a big jump this year, right? I got a lot of expectation for CJ. So I think CJ makes a big jump this year, and I still think Houston wins the division, but I'm not mad at the Jags. The Jags can keep it close. I just still think they're a couple pieces away when you look at their roster.
The one thing I always look at is the schedule, the strength of schedule, and that's why I'm picking the Bills. When you look at the Bills, first of all, they're playing the AFC East, all right? So therefore, they're going to play against the Patriots.
Yeah, I got you.
They're going to play against the Jets. Boom, they just lost their best offensive lineman. Even Miami, I think, is going to go down. Then they pull the NFC South.
I know, bro. That's crazy. Other than the Bucs, you're going to beat the Falcons, you're going to beat the Panthers, you're going to dog the Saints. Like, right. That's facts. Like, there's 12 wins just within the 2 divisions right there.
Right. That's right. No, that's 10 games against Grambling and Ball State.
Right.
It's like USC and Oregon back in the old Pac-10 when there was just 2 games, and then they got to play Cal and all the rest of the.
But then there's, I love, good shout out. We want to know though. But there's the other problem that the Bills have. It's the same problem that the Ravens have. Big Brother is still in the AFC. And that's just what it is. Until you can beat them. Remember, like these teams that we're talking about, they have both lost to the Chiefs at home and on the road. Okay, in the playoffs. Chiefs beat Buffalo in Buffalo. They beat Baltimore in Baltimore, and vice versa. Like, it's just.
So I'm gonna go Jedi to you young grasshoppers. All right. This is why the Bills back in the early 90s went to 4 straight Super Bowls, because if they can run the table against these weak sisters, and the game against Kansas City is in Buffalo and not Kansas City, that makes a difference in who goes to the Super Bowl.
That literally happened last year.
That's already happened
2 years ago.
I know, but I'm just telling you, I just think that they can go 14-3.
2 years ago? Was it last year or 2 years ago?
It wasn't last year. Last year was in Kansas City.
So 2 years ago, the Chiefs went out in Buffalo and beat Buffalo in Buffalo in the divisional game 2 years ago. When the Chiefs won it all. I mean, it just, as long as 15 is at the helm with Andy Reid calling plays, they're gonna be a very tough. Like Steele said, they're gonna be a very tough team to beat.
Plus, all those times Josh Allen's been playing out of his mind.
Right? So, they like he's been playing bad. That is absolutely true.
To beat him, he's got to keep that up, and that's hard to do. I mean, he's throwing for 350 a game. So they got to play perfect football and then have Josh Allen just play out of his mind, which is just a hard combination.
He is down line.
Josh Allen, and that's what also is great about sort of like the NFL now, sort of like the NBA, when you do have your 2 best players, Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes, playing for those championship games. When you do have, like in the NBA, it comes down to who's got the best player. The MVPs are playing against each other.
Yeah. I mean, it's good. Lamar Jackson said this is the best team he's been on. So there's no excuse. Like, go get the job done. But he still has to run into Big Brother. And he got the other problem too, though. He ain't beat Josh Allen in the playoffs either. Like, Josh Allen ain't no slouch when he played Baltimore either, though. So, like, that's what makes, it's that whole Roethlisberger.
Well, there's a team we haven't mentioned here yet that I'm super curious of what CJ and Steele you guys think because of the change they've had this year. Are the Steelers in the mix at all with Aaron Rodgers?
Nah.
They're always in the mix.
Yeah, as long as Mike Tomlin over there, they'll be competitive.
I mean, Tomlin could be there with us for playing, and they could still get 9 wins somehow.
They'll be competitive.
And now they got Aaron Rodgers, at least a competent quarterback.
They'll be competitive.
Does he give them another couple wins?
They'll be competitive. That's all I can say. I can't
DK Metcalf?
Like, the division is hard. That's another hard division, right? But he got to counteract, right? Like, the defense, right, will be solid, really good. Obviously you got the Bengals over there with Burrow and Chase and all those weapons, right? You have
It seems like Tomlin always had Lamar's number.
You have Baltimore over there with all their weapons, with Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry and all those weapons. But the Steelers will play good football. That's one thing they will do. They're gonna play fundamentally sound. They're gonna play good football. And if A-Rod can make a couple throws, then you're talking about the Pittsburgh Steelers. If he can make a couple throws, question is, can the 41-year-old make a couple throws? It's been a while. I love my guy to death. That's my guy. It's been a while.
Let me ask you two smart guys. Do you think that part of, and I'm not going to call it Lamar Jackson's the curse or whatever, why what you just said, CJ, why he can't sort of get over the hump, is because he takes such a beating during the whole year that come January, because of his style of play, he's not 100%. Now, nobody in the NFL is 100% in December and January, but he takes a lot more impact, a lot more collisions, a lot more damage, or whatever you want to say. And so he's just not at the same level come January.
I'll let Steele go first.
I feel like he doesn't really take too much damage. I mean, he does a lot of running, but I feel like for the most part, he's able to avoid, like, he definitely takes hits. I feel like he's able to avoid a lot of damage for the most part. But I mean, I wouldn't know what to attribute it to right now, because he's played in big games, he's performed in big games, but then once he gets to the playoffs, just something in him just kind of, it doesn't click on the field sometimes. So I wouldn't know what to attribute it to.
Or maybe the other thing is that style of offense, more of a college type of offense, sustainable in the playoffs? It's like the NBA. CJ always says
it's crazy. I was just going to get there, right? So obviously last year, Mark Andrews dropped a wide open pass, right? That's an anomaly, right? But in previous years, I think where Lamar can get better, and obviously I learned this from Peyton. It's a little different playing with one of the greatest who ever played. Situationally, right? Situationally, there's things, there's plays in a game situationally, a defense is going to call. They're going to be in. And good quarterbacks, great quarterbacks, attack those situations to make big plays. And I think Lamar relies on the athleticism instead of attacking those plays situationally. And I think that's something that he grows and he learns into, because when you see him play in the playoffs, it almost looks like a regular season game compared to when you see other quarterbacks play. You're going to go 3rd and 8. I know I'm getting this. Boom. Next, it's a big play on 3rd and 8. Like, it's crazy, right? So I just think it's things like that that can take that next step for Lamar, right? And I think it's a whole building thing. I think coordinators and all that got to be on the same page too, but I think that's where the next step is, right, for the playoffs. Like, you got to attack some of these coordinators situationally when Spags is doing this on 3rd or 2nd down, right? Or when McDormand is going to do this, right? You got to attack those things. And I just think that's what the lack is, because like you're saying, it looks like a regular season game for them. It's not a regular season game, though, right? It's a little different in the playoffs. So that's what that.
Hey, guys, as we start thinking about how we're going to wrap this up, I want to know what you're more confident about going into this weekend. Are you more confident with CU beating Delaware, or more confident with the Broncos beating the Titans?
Both. There's just no way both teams lose. They shouldn't, at least. There's just no way both teams lose. I don't think so. No shade to Tennessee.
I don't think either of them use either, but I mean, I think the Buffalo still have a better chance, I guess.
Let me put it this way. if they lose to Delaware, ooh, it's gonna be a long. Yeah,
like I said, it's not important until he loses. He loses Delaware, and it's gonna be
It's gonna be bad.
the NFL season kickoff that everybody got planned Monday will be all about the Buffs.
To quote
Rob,
Rob, to quote, and I'm gonna have CJ and Seal have to look this up. Desi Arnaz and I Love Lucy. If they lose to Delaware, it's gonna be Lucy. You got some explaining to do.
Lucy got some explaining to do. Yep,
You got,
right quote.
no,
That's
hey,
the right quote.
Rob, something also, Rob. I think that you and I need to work on. As I keep looking at CJ's got that cool CJ and first name, and of course Steele. I mean, how do you have a better first name?
Yeah, you know.
And we're Rob and Peter. I mean, it's like
I know we have the two whitest names in the room.
Hey, he said it, not me, because I was just gonna say.
If it makes you feel better, my first name's Donovan.
No, but right, that's
really,
what you.
no, it doesn't help out.
I mean, I put it as Steele, but it's Donovan on paper.
My first name is Cortrell, Pete. You do know that.
I know, but you.
DJ's been the name. That's my athletic name. That's not the government.
We got to work on this because it's just nobody even wants to hear what we have to say because they're looking at that. But you say Steele, I want to hear what Steele's got to say.
I know. Well, Steele, I actually do have a question. It's a non-football question. Doing a little bit of research after Peter told me you were coming on.
Oh, geez.
How do you train your husky? I just adopted a dog. It's like 26% husky, which means it's about 26% crazy.
Well, I just lucked out. Mine's basically mute. He doesn't bark. He doesn't talk. He doesn't do anything.
Okay.
So I can't give you how I train him because I didn't really train him. He just kind of came prepackaged. Just
came trained. He came trained.
He can't. I mean, it took about a year or two of just the terrible twos, but after that, he was cool.
Yeah, no, our puppy's about a year, and man, like the energy in that guy, and he just had ACL surgery, so we're just trying to keep him calm so he, can heal up. So I'm trying to tell a dog to stay calm.
Yeah,
I was at 4 ACLs. I know nothing about dogs.
I mean, once it heals up, I'd say just have them go run out for 2 hours until they pass out.
Yeah, no, we're taking. We got hills in the neighborhood. We're gonna make them run hills.
Exactly.
Every time I hear someone say, "Oh, the veterinarian says my dog's got ACL," I'm like, I go by the veterinarian's house see if he's building a pool or something.
That's about right.
I'm sorry, it doesn't smell right. I just think the vet just needs. He saw you. He ran your credit check. He sees you got cash.
Peter, the best part about it is they show us the X-rays, and I'm sitting there like, oh yeah, that does look like an ACL tear. I mean,
yeah, like
I don't know what I'm looking at on the X-ray.
Yeah, you were looking at the X-rays like he was looking at your freaking credit report. Trust me, I'm telling.
I was like, what? Like, you don't act like you don't know what you're talking about when you're there with the dog doctor. You're like, yeah, it does. He was limping a little bit more with that leg. Yeah. So
no, that trust me, that doctor just needed a new pool.
So, guys, what's the game you're most looking forward to this weekend? The one you're not missing, the one you're marking on your calendar, getting your popcorn ready. CJ, which one you looking forward to the most?
That's a good question. Cincinnati and Cleveland. Like I want to see what Cincinnati's gonna do. Like you just came off your best 2 statistical years, which are like both these dudes are MVP candidates if their records are instead of 9-8, their records are fucking 11-6 or 12-5, right? Like I'm curious to see, if Cincinnati's ready to push and get back to what they were a couple of years ago when they were pushing. So like Cincinnati's a big one for me. And then I think Seattle play who? The Niners?
Yep.
Yeah, and I'm curious to see what Mike McDonald and them do over there in Seattle. Like I'm interested in that, right? Who knows what Sam Darnold's going to look like? But I do think Mike McDonald is leading that organization in the right direction. So Seattle's another one, but those will probably be my AFC, NFC. Like I'm definitely going to sit down and watch those for sure.
Steele, which one are you not going to miss?
Saturday night, I want to see the Wolverines go down in Norman.
Wow,
that's a good one.
That's a hateful watch right there. It's not. You're not watching as a fan.
It is. It's wired in me now, so I have to do it. It's part of my tradition on Saturdays. I got to see if they get beat.
Being from Georgia, how long did it take them to indoctrinate you into that Buckeye mindset to hate Michigan?
Right around COVID, like 2020. Okay. After my first game, actually, like getting the full week of prep, I started to understand kind of just like all about the rivalry, and then that hatred sort of bubbled up. That and then the 3 losses.
Yeah, that's fair too.
So
I grew up in Toledo, right between Columbus and Ann Arbor. It's the real deal.
It's no joke.
That's real deal.
Rob, I think that the beauty of the NFL is every one of these games has a storyline to it, and you could justify, at least to your significant other, leave me alone. I'm watching this game because it's important, and bring me some onion dip. Okay, don't bother me. You know, the Jets how about the Jets and the Steelers? Aaron Rodgers going back to New York.
That's a good one.
The Giants play the Commanders. The Giants have to win this year to save
Daboll's job.
Daboll's job, and they open up. They start up Washington, Dallas. Boom, boom, boom. Right? You know, the Raiders and the Patriots. Both teams rebuilding. Who's a fraud? Whatever. Dolphins and the Colts. Is Daniel Jones real? Are the Dolphins real? I mean, every game sort of has a little bit of like, what are we doing?
I will say this. That's my surprise team of the year. New England. Not nothing. 7 wins, right? Not nothing crazy. Not talking playoffs. Not talking about winning the division. I think Drake May's a really, really good player. I think Mike Vrabel definitely knows what the hell he's doing and talking about. He'll definitely have the defensive stuff ready, right? Just his background, right? Obviously, Ohio State player, but obviously got the Bill Belichick background. But I think Mike Vrabel is a really damn good coach. You saw what he did with Tennessee. It won't take long for New England over there. I think New England is my surprise team. 7 wins at the ceiling. Anything over 7 is.
Well, they're playing the weak conference too. If they're playing the NFC South too, they get to play the Saints.
So I do think 7 wins if they stay healthy, of course, which that's hard to do in the league. But I think 7 wins is a good year for Mike Vrabel and them. Go 7-10, it's a good year.
Yeah, I think Drake May has a big boost in this play, especially with a receiver coming in this year.
Me too.
And then don't forget, Ravens play the Bills on Sunday night. That could be a preview.
Oh, goodness gracious. I didn't even think about that one.
That could be a preview of the AFC Championship. And the Vikings play the Bears on Monday night. So you have the two quarterback whisperers, you know, Ben Johnson and Kevin O'Connell playing against each other, both with quarterbacks that we don't know what they are yet.
Right. Nah, it's a great week 1. It's a really good week 1. I mean, tonight's a good game. Like, truly, can you see what Harbaugh and what, you know, Justin Herbert and them going to do against, you know, Big Brother? Like, it's a good game tonight. Chiefs gotta show that they're still who they are. But
in Brazil,
I love Harbaugh, man. I know you don't like him, but gotta love Harbaugh, man. He's a hell of a coach.
Hey, Peter, I have a super agent question for you. So we got a few more years with Bo Nix on his rookie deal. But when they start looking at writing up a new contract and extension for him, what are those numbers going to look like for Bo Nix, assuming the path keeps going well for him where he's
4 years from now? What does the market look like for QBs?
2 years.
Like especially if
especially
like with Brock Purdy kind of setting the mark, is like if you say at least he's at a Brock Purdy like level.
Well, then I mean he's looking at $75 a year.
God, should have played QB.
And at some point,
Pete 5 years later.
It's at some point, you know, some quarterback is going to sit there and say I'm the first $1 billion a year player, and it's going to come before the end of the decade.
Wow.
As long as the business keep growing the way it's growing, that's one thing I know about the NFL. Like I said, day 3 of the draft was the best marketing tool I've ever seen from a company program, letting other people in different countries, not states, countries, making the picks. I thought that shit was, I was like, oh, they're thinking global, adopting flag football, which is growing crazy. I'm like, damn, NFL is I know Mark Cuban was hating on the NFL not too long ago. They kicking ass.
Let me sort of conclude my portion by my favorite story always when you talk about, you know, free agency and, you know, what are you going to get? And someone asked Joe DiMaggio. All right, so do you still know who Joe DiMaggio was?
When
I'm a Yankee fan from the Bay Area,
right?
So he always, so when they used to have Yankee Old Timers Day, he would only show up if they announced him last, and they always had to announce him as the greatest living player. If they wouldn't do that, he wouldn't show up. But he probably was the greatest living player. So they'd asked him once, they said, if you were a free agent right now, what would you ask George Steinbrenner for in a contract? and this was the greatest comeback, greatest line ever. He goes, I'd go up to George and say, George, you and I are about to become partners.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
I mean, he got the streak to prove it.
Yeah, and at some point,
62 straight, something like that.
At some point, a quarterback's we about to become partners.
Straight hits or something. That was crazy. Speaking of Yanks, man, shout out to our Vallejo native man, CC Sabathia, Cooperstown. Right, he made it. Right, we went down there. We had a really good time. Right, me and my mom, my grandma, we went down there. We had a really good time.
What, to Cooperstown?
Mm-hmm.
When did you go to Cooper?
CC,
you went to Cooperstown for that?
Yeah, my guy.
You didn't.
My grandma babysitted him.
Where did you find it? Syracuse?
No. Yes. No. We flew in we flew into LaGuardia and drove our ass way up.
Well, so Cooperstown's an hour from where I grew up. That's what I'm saying. You should have told me.
Oh, really? I didn't know. I was gonna tell you, but like we kind of just made that last minute. C invited Grams hella late. Called me and was like, bro, I need Grams up here. Because Grams babysitting him when he was young.
But isn't that the coolest little town?
It was cool as hell. I do think I don't think they do it better than us though. I could be biased. I think
the Hall of Fame.
I'm just talking about the whole Hall of Fame and right because like they do their parties and stuff the night before,
right?
So it was cool, but then it's like you get to the Hall of Fame and you're enjoying everybody, but like the fan engagement is not as big as like the NFL's. But you know us, we do ours the night like the same night. So the fans is there, but then you get to go see all your family that same night in this big old party thing. So
yeah,
it was just a little different, but it was cool. It was cool to see. It was cool to see.
Cooperstown's in the middle of nowhere. I don't think you get that kind of stuff there. I'll tell you a funny story, boys, right?
You act like Ken is like Ken, Ohio is like
an hour from Cleveland.
It is, but it's not nothing special. But I mean, also too, I'm like, as a baseball guy too, I'm like, man, where's all the others?
I'm looking for my prop. I'm gonna get this.
They don't get a lot of Hall of Fame support, like old players that come. Not everybody.
It's just they're just not a lot of.
And
hotels.
maybe that's what it is. You know, you go to the NFL Hall of Fame, you gonna see the Eric Dickersons and the Ray Lewises. You gonna see the old. I didn't really see no old baseball players that I grew up watching. I was like, man, this would have been cool. It'd have been cool to shake this guy in or shake this game. That was cool though, but it was cool. I enjoyed it.
So this goes back to before. Well, maybe CJ might have been born. You definitely weren't born yet. So late '90s. So
yeah, I was born for sure.
So I get a call. We do a autograph show in Cooperstown with Barry Sanders.
Okay.
So Barry and I fly. I think we flew to Syracuse. We pick up my mom in Cortland, which is about 30 miles south of Syracuse. We drive to Cooperstown, and we're doing the show. And the other person in the show was Don Larson. Okay, so who's Don Larson?
You're the one talking about the 90s, Peter.
The only person that pitched a perfect game. He pitched a perfect game in the World Series.
Oh.
Okay.
Really?
56 Yankees pitches a perfect game in the World Series.
Oh, 56.
Right.
27 up,
27
up, 27 down. All right?
Really?
In the World Series.
I did not know that. That's actually crazy.
I give you that. I had to look that up.
All right, before I finish the story, so who made the last out? 27 up, 27 down.
Well, Don Larson, if he pitched a perfect game.
Who was batting? Yeah, it had to be a pinch hitter, right? Because it was the pitcher. All right. By the way, so Don Larson's there, my mom's there. They're both about the same age, and Don Larson starts hitting on my mom, who's single, right?
Okay.
And mom's sort of like, I'm like, Mom, you could do a lot worse than the guy. Come on, let's go. I said, wait, hold on, I got the ball right here.
Oh God!
You just heard on my mom. Can you sign my baseball? Look at that.
No, I got the ball right here. Right? To Joe. That's my mom, Don Larson. Let's go.
Wow.
Holy.
Look at you, kid.
Let's go. Come on, Mom. You could do a lot worse than a Hall of Famer. Let's go.
Right. You already did my dad, Mom.
Here it is. It's signed here. Don Larson, October 8, 1950. That's what he signed it. Perfect game. Yeah. All right, boys. Football Friday. Thanks a lot for joining us.
Hey, have a great weekend, guys. We'll talk to you guys soon. Steele, thank you so much for joining us today.
You'll always be here, man. It was dope.
No problem, man.
Man, come back anytime.
Do it again.
Yes, sir.
All right, guys. Later.
All right. Later.
Later.